I am currently in Mexico City and I'm having the time of my life. This is one of those destinations that I've been wanting to visit for quite some time, and finally I'm here and it has exceeded all of my expectations. The food has been great, wonderful and warm. Shopping has been immaculate, and the architecture has blown me away. Today is Tuesday, December 16th. We've been here since Friday morning, and every single day has been jam-packed. And finally, I get to sit down and share with you what we've done in the last couple of days. If you're planning a trip to Mexico City soon, I highly recommend going to these places. And if you have any recommendations, do let me know, because this is not going to be the last time I'm ever coming here. Our first day here was pretty chill. We landed at 5 in the morning and went straight to our hotel. We checked into the Volga Hotel. It is absolutely stunning. It's the first time I've been wowed by a property in so long, and I just loved the overall vibe of the place. I love how it was designed. I felt really spoiled by them. While waiting for our room to be ready for us, we explored the neighborhood. We went to go get some pozole. We went to a bakery, and then for the last couple of hours, we just stayed upstairs at the rooftop. There's a small pool with a gorgeous view of the city, and we just laid on the beds. And then also around like 12 noon, they have masseuses come and give you free 10-minute massages. So we took advantage of that. As soon as we checked into our room, we took a nap, and then we woke up and went to dinner. We had dinner at the hotel, and then we went to go check out Tokyo Music Bar, but they were fully booked for the day. So we went to the bar that they had downstairs, which was such a vibe. We actually ended up going to Tokyo Music Bar the next day, and we preferred the bar downstairs a little bit more. But anyway, we went to that bar, and then we went to the bar that's located in the hotel. It's called The Sound Room, and it's pretty cool. The vibes were great, the people were great, and the music was a 10 out of 10. And that concludes our first day in Mexico City. Also, I do want to mention that we ended up getting a late night dinner at a taco joint, which was so bomb. We ended up sleeping like logs the entire night. On our official second day in Mexico City, we were more rested than the day before, so we had a lot of energy for exploring the city. We started off the day at the Saturday market, which was amazing. We got so many things, from jewelry to home goods to ceramics and glassware. It was absolutely. We ended up at the Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera house, which was super exciting. I'm such a huge fan of Frida's art and just everything that she embodies. So I was really happy to see her home, and I love the overall architecture of it. Honestly, I love that situation when you live with your significant other on the same land, but your homes are separated. I'm all for that. We finished off with dinner at the hotel and then went out for a drink at Tokyo Music Bar, which, like I said earlier, we ended up liking the vibe of the bar downstairs a little bit more. On our third day, we ended up going to a Sunday market where we found a lot of curated vintage finds. Compared to the Saturday market, it was a little less touristy, way more locals, and the items weren't complete duplicates of one another, if that makes any sense. So that was great. I got a lot of great finds from there, and then we also got some ice cream. And then we ended up at another market, which we honestly did not have that great of a time at. So we left early and went to go check in at our Airbnb, which is where I'm at right now. We ended up going on an afternoon walk and stumbled across this little mini market. It was tucked away in someone's, little neighborhood. It was held by these girls from the US, and they were doing sort of like a moving sale. So they were selling all of their items, and they were a bunch of stylists. So we hit a gold mine. I got 2 items. I bought this sweater vest and a really cute black and white button down. And wow, it's always nice to go on walks in a different city because you never know what you're going to come across. After checking into our Airbnb, we ended up going to a taco spot. It is the only taco spot with a Michelin star. It is called El Califa de Leon, and amazing. So worth the wait. The tacos were amazing. I love the mole that they use. I love the salsa that they use. It had these giant chopped raw onions, which obviously I love. I'm obsessed with onions if you didn't know. So that was great. And then we ended up going back to the hotel to pick up our things and came back here to the Airbnb. And that was day 3. On day 4, which was yesterday, I actually went to go get a tattoo, which I'm super stoked about. I have this thing now where every time I see art on the wall, I immediately want to get it tattooed on me. On our 3rd day, I saw a piece of art on the wall. It was literally an eye, and I was like, yeah, that's what I want. I already had an appointment made with this specific artist that's based here in Mexico City, but I immediately sent her that photo and I said I want something like this. She did mention that the artist who had that eye art on the wall is a friend of hers, and she'll do her best to replicate it. And she did such a great job. I love it. It's one of a kind. It's right here. The pain wasn't too bad. Of course, when it got to like my bone area, it hurt a little more. But other than that, I want to say it was like a 4 out of 10. She ended up putting numbing cream at the very end when she did the details. Yeah, it was a 2-hour session. It cost 4,500 pesos, which is roughly $250. And it's so great. I used to have this thing where I get a tattoo from every single country that I would visit. That was a really long time ago when I used to travel a ton. And so I'm kind of bringing that tradition alive once again. For 2026, I really want to focus on traveling out of the country more. After my tattoo appointment, I went to go meet up with EJ at another market and we picked up some more goods. We started off with some hot chocolate, which had some mezcal in it. It was absolutely delicious. And then we went ahead and did our final sweep because for the rest of the week, we would be focusing on architecture, design, museums, and all the things. We really just wanted to get it out of the way. That way, the rest of the week, we can focus on exploring around. And like I said, I always love to travel with the mantra that this isn't the last time I'm going to be here because I don't like to stress out over doing every single thing and adding more stress to my vacation. So after the market, we went on a walk to Centro Histórico and I was absolutely stunned by the cathedral that they had. It was marvelous. And also in the historic district, you'll find a lot of stores like Zara, Bershka, a lot of like the more like not American stores, but just stores that you would see in like a mall, which is something that we're avoiding because we want to make sure that we're supporting local, buying locally made goods. And unless it's like a Mexican store / brand, then we'll buy from there. But I mean, I don't want to travel the world to go to a Zara. We didn't really go into the stores there, but we indulged in the architecture that was all around. And we also were able to see the Palacio de Bellas Artes, which was like stunning. It was too late to go inside. From the outside, it's absolutely gorgeous. And then we took our Didi to our Airbnb. And then afterwards, we went back to the taco spot from the day before and indulged in some more tacos. Today we are having a later start to the day. It is 2:30. We had a late breakfast / early lunch at a spot right around the corner from our Airbnb. And now we're going to leave for Biblioteca Vasconcelos, which I'm super excited about because the architecture is beautiful. And I love a library, so super excited for that. So, it has been some time since I came back from Mexico City, and during my entire trip, I didn't really film a lot of talking. During my trip, I didn't really film a lot of talking segments, mainly because I wanted to be in the moment, and as soon as I got up, I would get ready and then we would head out to our next adventure for the day. And also, somewhere along that trip, I received the news that my grandfather passed, so I really just didn't have it in me to talk to a camera, and I wanted to enjoy the trip and really kind of process that type of news, especially when you're away from home. It was a lot. The rest of the trip was amazing. We went to more markets and more vintage shops. We went to Handshake Speakeasy, and we also woke up at 3 in the morning and took a private tour to Teotihuacan, where we were able to watch the sunrise from a hot air balloon, have breakfast inside of a cave, and then tour the pyramids. It was amazing. That was probably one of the best days of my life. I decided for the rest of this video, I'm going to just post the montages that I took from my camcorder and just add text at the bottom just to showcase the rest of the things that we did. Thank you so much for watching my Mexico vlog. Let's go ahead and run the rest of the clips. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be posting more videos this year.